What's going on, Mike? This is Desmond Clark, former tight end of your Chicago Bears.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Halas Hall Report.
Defense has been playing too good. So I'm going to take the Bears in a rare shootout.
I mean, if that offensive line, we get some help for that one. We in our draft and everything, we need to focus on our offense.
You know, he's going to be on a roll here today. I think he's at least going to have 2 sacks.
Doing it all year long, so if you stop those 2 guys, who else they got?
Robbie to go. I mean, he took out Aaron.
Yeah. Okay.
Go that touchdown, got the 1-point lead with 61 seconds left.
Dalton runs the offense a little better than Fields, as long as the offensive line can somewhat hold up.
What's going on? Welcome to the Halas Hall Report. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
Awesome, baby. Awesome. There's Packer week.
Outstanding.
And the Bears got
Bears win. Bears win.
19-10.
Just like I told you, Woody.
No, you got the score wrong.
Yeah, they missed the field goals. It was close. I did get the 10 right.
So, yeah, it was a pretty interesting game. And,
Yeah, definitely.
With that
It scared
rain.
me, though. It scared me, though, being off 10-0 right off the bat. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a slow start, man. It was a little scary.
Well, offensively it was slow. Defensively they didn't start out too bad.
No. But then again, that weather was brutal, man. I mean, there was a lot of rain, man. That, like I said, that field. I mean, I was there right when I walked in. That's what you saw was just completely waterlogged field, man. I mean, I don't know. The TVs didn't show that much. I mean, it showed. Obviously, you guys saw the slip and slides, but man, like say the field, it was brutal. I mean, you seen the pieces coming up, but you guys probably didn't see it on TV because it filled with water really quick.
So Billy, you thought you were at a swim meet, not a football game?
Yeah, actually, I thought so, man. I thought Michael Phelps was going to show up.
Oh, that was I thought the defense actually started out pretty decent. I mean, we went down 10-0, but they got that takeaway early on, right, with Brisker getting the recovery and they actually kept. I mean, the 49ers, man, they piled on the yardage, didn't they, in that first half? But the defense, kind of that old school, bend don't break defense, kind of was there that in the first half. So I mean, the defense was good in the first half, and actually by the end of the first half, we saw the offense starting to at least move a little bit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could have got ugly quick, man. It could have been like 21-0 by half, man. It could have got ugly.
It helped that Kittle didn't play and Elijah Mitchell got hurt, but Mitchell's a good running back, and of course, you know how Kittle is.
Oh yeah, I got screwed in my fantasy league for that because I overslept because I was still sick. I woke up, I'm like, oh, I've got no tight end today in my one league. I still won, but I had no tight end. I'm like, thanks, Kittle.
I lost one out of 7 leagues. One.
Well, that's what I was saying on our show last week. Like, I don't know why Kittle gets so much praise. He's always hurt, and he's hurt this week too.
And Kelsey gets hit way more than he does, and look how tough Kelsey is.
And he gets paid less.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like Witten when Witten played, right? Witten was a beast. I don't think that dude ever missed a game.
No, and he actually ran, like 70-some yards with his helmet off against the Eagles. He got popped off.
Yeah, I remember that
He's
game.
a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he
Kittle
was.
is literally always banged up. Always. He's always at least questionable.
That's why I was disappointed last week. I mean, for us to win today, you got to get Cole Kmet involved, man. You really do.
Yeah, there's no excuse for like no receptions at all. Not one.
Hey, the Facebook user who just had this very long post down here. I don't think anyone thinks that the Packers are a gimme game today, but thanks for trying.
Yeah,
man. These comments they'll get even better. You'll see.
Yeah. Packer fans are hilarious.
They'll be better, tomorrow and all that too when we have that Bears victory.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the fact that Justin kept his composure, through that whole game, I think that was more impressive to me. Even we knew that the defense was gonna come out the way that they did and sustain it because that's what Eberflus was pretty much preaching the whole training camp. But just the fact that Justin kept that composure, even when they were down, you didn't see him throwing his iPad, aka Karen Rodgers. We didn't see him get rattled. So the thing is that he played, he stuck with it for that first half, and then the second half he just got into a rhythm and it just took off.
Well, I always take the negative, the good with the negative. I mean that touchdown pass to Pettis was wide open, but you got to think Justin Fields was running for his life that play.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? What's great about that play, Woody, though, is Fields had his the vision, right? He was scrambling, but still had the composure to have the vision of the field to know that Pettis was. When was the last time any of us saw Bears wide receiver that wide open for a touchdown?
Exactly. He rolled left. Everybody was left, and he was all by himself over there. It's like, throw it to him, and he saw him.
Zach Miller against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Trubisky had 6 touchdown passes. I remember that. He was wide open.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but there was no one around him for like 30 yards when he caught that ball.
Yeah, I know. But
He's another novel.
Man, can we these comments? Can we keep them down to a fucking chapter instead of a whole book, please?
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Yeah, turn the page. But I mean, that's the thing. Like when we were talking pre-show, like when you look at this game today, both teams have the same problems: offensive line issues, wide receiving core issues. Right? Yeah, you've got one of the best all time, the returning MVP up there in Green Bay, quarterback. But in Chicago, you got a young, talented quarterback who can extend with his legs and has vision. So, I mean, I don't want to say they're equal, but for all intents and purposes, for the argument today, they are. So
I say the running game's
really good.
I say they're up on the running game. Their 1-2 punch, I think, is a little bit better than ours.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yep. Dylan's
Dylan's
a beast.
He's awesome.
No, but not on the fucking screen right now. I'm not going to read more than the paragraph.
They're going to have to depend on that run game a little more today, though.
Yeah.
Why the fuck should we read more than
we know the Packers are having problems with the receivers. Big difference without Adams there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Adams had more yards than all the Packers receiving core last week.
I think, I look back at it, and Aaron Rodgers really needs that number one guy to lean on. And I don't see it in their receivers now. I mean, it's just not there.
Well, I think Cobb is going to be target today because Cobb always has big games against Chicago.
Is Tunyon playing today? Is Tunyon playing today?
I think I'm younger than.
According to the injury report, he's not on the injury report.
Oh God.
I know Cobb's a name from the past or whatever, but yeah, that dude's older than me. I'm good on Randy Cobb.
All the Packer fans are still loving that Cobb. Oh, he's a bear killer. Come on, man. Yeah, he killed us in the past, but it's a whole different. It's a new year.
He's getting off the bus for the king.
He's good for 2 games a year. Chicago, that's about it.
Yeah, I hear you. I just don't. It's that one of them things that I don't even think. I think it's going to be. I'll be surprised if he gives Watson another shot after that deep ball. I mean, geez, he put that right in the kid's lap and he just muffed it, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, they'll give it back to him. I mean, they got no choice, man. They got to find receivers.
And Lazard's questionable for today too.
Yep.
All right, here with the paragraph, the 2 questions. I mean, okay. Without Mac, do you think you have the same pass rush? Well, did you watch last week's game? There's your answer. And is your secondary going to be able to keep up with the plays in the middle of the field? Well, yeah. Once again, did you watch last week's game? I mean, come on, Packer fans. At least ask intelligent questions.
Ken, hold up. I got a question. What about the Packers defense? We keep hearing about the damn offense. What about their defense? That's what I got a question for.
how
Did
do you
they even have a defense playing?
I mean,
damn.
Whoever called that defense for the Packers last week, how do you not have Alexander all over Jefferson? Jefferson, before the first half was over, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's been doing his dance twice. I mean, come on, Packer fans. You want to talk about Bears defense? Everyone in the brother sister knows where the ball is going to Minnesota, and you left the man wide open.
Man, he was most every catch I watched in that game was uncontested.
Yeah.
I mean, just wide, like, damn, there he is again, wide open. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Packer fans need to kind of look at their own defense after the game in Minnesota. They want to say, oh, but the Bears fans are going to talk about the offense. No. That was the Minnesota defense or the Minnesota offense destroying your defense last week in the first half. It wasn't even close. And you know what's funny? Dalvin Cook had a crap game, and they still smoked your butt.
Yeah.
Well, come on, it's the first game of the season, Come on.
It's the first game.
They did this last year and won 7 straight. Come on.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I
hate people that brings up the past. Who
They
gives a
looked
fuck?
really bad. They looked really bad on defense. I mean, hey, I don't have any problem saying when our team sucks and doesn't do the right thing, but I mean, you just gotta call it like
you know what I like last week too at the games too. Jalen Johnson's Peanut Tillman punch last week on Debo. That was great.
Yeah, that was
great. You know what? Jalen Johnson was being held too, and he just stuck his hand out and punched it out.
Yeah,
it was great. I loved it.
I love the peanut punch.
I mean, that defense last week is what kept us in that game. Like Billy said, that could have been 21-0.
Yeah.
That defense, though, creating the turnover, holding the score down, the field goal attempts by Robbie Gould. I mean, that defense, and they shut. And Trey Lance still made some really good throws, right? He still had a couple moments, but overall, that defense really gave San Francisco everything they could handle.
Well, what do you think about our offensive line last week? How they held up? Of course, some plays that he was running all over the place, but I don't know.
They still got to play a little bit more with each other. I wasn't too, happy with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys say that the 49ers receivers are way better than the Packers receivers?
Yes.
Yeah. At this time, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, good morning, Sam.
Morning.
Hey,
Come on, Sam.
I would say that the offensive line got better as the game went on because we did something Nagy never did. We ran. And that helped that offensive line out a lot. So by the end of the game, they were looking pretty good. But, yeah, they still have a ways to go.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, you can't. I don't expect that line to gel until probably the 5th week of the season. I mean, if they're going to at all.
Of this year or next season?
Of this year.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, I think it's just one of those classic things with Bears fans. We're going to talk about the offensive line until they're number 1 on Pro Football Focus, and then we'll probably still talk bad about them.
Actually, didn't speaking of Pro Football Focus, I mean, Jenkins had a really good score last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had no pressures on the quarterback when he was in.
So, I mean, it's we probably have one of the youngest lines in the league. I assume we're one of the youngest ones because it's usually mostly first and second year guys, aren't we? I mean, so when this offensive line solidifies, whether it be this season or next, they should be pretty good for a couple years.
Would you guys rather see Lucas Patrick at the center and then Jenkins at the right guard? How y'all feel about that?
I definitely want to see him at center. Definitely. You got to think he protected Aaron Rodgers.
And I think historically he's been better at center than anywhere else.
Yeah. And we still won. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, man.
We all know that he didn't play well in the first half, but our quarterback won us the game.
It's 2 halves. Hey, I can admit the Packers are the best regular season team in the league. I admit that.
Definitely. Well, they've been. It's
They've
you
been.
know their team's going down now. This is
But
Aaron's last year.
They don't have a trophy like we do. They're watching the Super Bowl on the couch like we fucking are.
Yeah.
I don't hear shit.
Yeah, hey, the comment there, the O-line they gave you holding calls last week. That was the other thing about that game. Very clean sheet overall. 3 penalties, one being the field goal, the towel incident. But overall, the Bears played such a clean game with the penalties.
And that's impressive considering what the weather was like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that field. We were talking about that grass, how it was gonna drain out, and it didn't drain nothing.
They drain out, man.
Neither did the stands. The stands were flooded and pouring water down too.
Hey Sam, did those 49ers fans next to you say anything to you?
Oh, they were cool. We were friends the whole time.
Oh my God.
That was
hilarious.
epic. When you took that video of them staring and looking over, I was like, oh, I nearly pissed myself.
It was so funny. They were good sports though. They were nice guys.
That was one of the best. Just the face you made and then them turning as soon as you were videoing. I was dying laughing.
The guy I get my seats from, his family member owns those 2 seats, and so they sold them to those dudes for a pretty penny too, like pretty expensive what they paid to get there. And then they flew there from California. So I was like, man, you guys spent all this money to get your ass kicked.
Wow.
And they almost drowned in a tsunami.
Well, our seats are covered, so they didn't get wet there.
And the thing is, it was new fucking grass. That's the funny part.
It was awesome.
Hey, whoever the commenter, the second touchdown pass was a design play. The run was a design play. But yeah, unlike Aaron, Fields does make a lot of plays work when they break. Whereas Aaron just gets really mad and pouty and shows his emo little self marching off to the bench when they go 3 and out.
He wipes his tears with all that money you guys paid him.
Yeah.
Here's a stat from last week. Aaron Rodgers got sacked 4 times.
Yeah.
Justin Fields got sacked twice.
And they both had and Aaron only had 1 pick, right? Because I know Fields, he had his pick, so you know.
Yeah, was
hey, Aaron Rodgers might have to go bail Brett Favre out of jail.
Yeah, it's
robbing old folks to build volleyball courts.
Oh yeah, the welfare checks. Oh yeah, I talked about that last night.
Yeah, and you know what? I hate, I don't hate, trouncing on the Packers all the time, but they've had 2 of the best quarterbacks in the history of football back to back, and they have 2 titles?
2.
That's it. I mean,
but we have one since '85. We have one. Can't argue with that. They're gonna say that.
We also didn't have 2 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history.
And they'll say that too. We never had a Hall of Fame quarterback in history. They're gonna say. I hate when people bring up the fucking past. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
Should have had at least fucking 10 titles.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to bring up the past, the best Packers moment ever was a Super Bowl team at the White House, Jim McMahon in his Bears jersey with the Packers.
That was awesome.
If they want to bring up the past, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Oh
boy. Packer fans they've been, you can't blame Packer fans because they have had a good team for, like you said, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Even though they've only got 2 rings, they've won a lot of games. Okay, great. And for some of these guys who are so young, it's all they know is some of these guys, their whole lives have been Favre followed by Rodgers. They've known 2 quarterbacks in Green Bay their entire lives. They don't remember in the 80s when the Packers couldn't even find a water boy to pass for them. So, you got to give the Packer fans a little – they just don't know better. They will when it's the Jordan Love era. But
oh, please. You are rent-free with the Bears in your fucking head, buddy.
Oh, geez.
Is it? Hold on. Is it?
Oh, my God. How are we talking about the Packers during Bears Packers week? Oh, man.
Yeah, don't talk about the Packers. We're only playing about Sunday.
Yeah, we're fucking
Can't even
playing them
spell
today,
the sides,
douchebag. We're playing them today, you fuck.
Bye, Steve. Have a good day, Steve.
Hey, how's your mom? Thank her for my sandwich last night.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is that the refs weren't in Aaron Rodgers' asshole last week either. So,
No.
Why did that guy turn into such an egomaniac?
Because they've won so many games. That's why.
He has pretty hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. We all know that they're going to come for us. I mean, they had a horrible game last week. We know it's not going to be a cakewalk going in there. I mean, it's Bears Packers, but I got that gut feeling that I think it's our time, man. I think we're going to get them.
Well, see,
Of course,
I
you
was
did.
thinking, Bill, like, would I rather play them reeling from a loss? Would I rather play them reeling from a loss or on the heels of a big win? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
You know, with this rivalry, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've watched games where the Packers were the worst team in the division, and we were the best, and it came down to a 51-yard field goal by Butthead in the frozen tundra. And then I've seen games where the Packers were the best, and we were absolutely terrible, like the Thanksgiving game on Brett Favre night, and we come in there into Lambeau and win. So with the Bears-Packers rivalry, it really doesn't matter. It's just going to be a game. Every time it's going to be a game. Even the blowouts end up being a game. Like the score doesn't, even in the games where it's a little bit blown up by the score, but when you watch the game, it was a game. So, I mean, if you think about it, in the last couple of years, a lot of them have come down to, you know, the Bears blowing a coverage and the Packer wide receiver being so wide open, Woody could throw the ball to him with one arm tied behind his back, hopping on one leg.
I was a quarterback 13 years, buddy. I decided to retire a couple years ago.
Exactly. So,
but you know what?
Why he retired.
The 13 years I played, we had 4 titles. 4. So there you go.
And their defense was the best in the league. He doesn't tell you that.
That's yes.
And he's just talking about division titles. He's not talking about championship titles.
I was the 2000 Ravens. I was Trent Dilfer. Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
He had a running back that ran 200-300 yards a game.
Yeah.
These Bears-Packers games are always good. It doesn't matter, you know, it really doesn't matter how good or bad either of these teams are. They're just great games every time.
Well, I was just alluding more to the fact of the momentum, you know.
It's week 1.
Yeah, I know. But I think they're going to come in there wanting to beat the living dog shit out of us from last week. But, you know, who knows? It'll like you said, it's always a good game. You know, we always get excited for Bears-Packers. It's the biggest rivalry. You know what I wish is the Packers would change their ugly-ass uniforms already. Like, they're terrible. Like, at least make the uniforms a little different once in a while. At least we got, like, alternates. They're suck.
I can't wait to those all orange fucking uniforms, man. Was it 2 games this year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, those things look really cool. I want to see them in person. I like the throwback helmets, too, were pretty cool, too.
Yeah, the 1936 throwback helmets were pretty cool. I like those. I've got one of these alternate orange in a speed, and it actually looks pretty cool if that's what it's going to look like. The Bears have done some cool things with their marketing department with doing these alternate uniforms. They've been actually, they're probably one of the better teams in the NFL with that, if you think about it.
Yeah,
so Ken, what do you think about your boy resigning at the end of the year, Mr. Phillips?
You know, I mean, as long as he gets the Arlington Park deal done, I think that's the only reason he's there is to do Arlington. I mean, Ted Phillips is not the greatest football guy, but as a business guy, he's been pretty good for the Bears. If you look at some of the business decisions they've made, you know, the uniform variances, Arlington, even if you look at how Lake Forest is run, he's done some really good things for the club. He just isn't a personnel guy.
Are you
You know
going
I
what
to
think
the
that's
job?
likely why he stayed this year, is to get that Arlington deal done, and
Yep.
that he's just ready to move on, but wants to finish that out.
Yep.
Are you going to go for the job, Ken?
I'm retired in Florida. Why would I want to go back to
You would
Chicago?
come
and
on.
choose my
If they
butt
would
off?
come to you, if you're retired and they would come to you
Oh,
and
hey,
say, "I want,"
if I could stay in Florida, because I don't want to be dodging bullets in Chicago, just driving to work every day.
nah,
But
Hey, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
whack
no,
them with
I
that
mean,
stick, Billy. Whack them.
yeah, hey, I miss my Portillo's, my pizza, but I mean, no, I mean, I wouldn't want to manage that project. Nope, that's okay. I'm happy being retired.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's a hell of a project, though, if you think about it, man. The Arlington Heights project, that's a hell of a project. I mean, that's more than just a stadium.
Oh, they're building more than just a stadium. They're building like a whole little
a town.
Yeah, they're gonna have all kinds of restaurants. They're gonna have all kinds of stuff in there, dude. Hey, all I know is I'll be on that damn job site. I'm an iron worker. I helped build, the new stadium renovated the new stadium that we're in. I'll be jumping on that stadium.
So you better be telling us everything you know ahead of time.
I actually kind of got a little. I already seen some of the stuff that I'm hoping that we do get, dude, because it's gonna be great.
Billy, how far is it from you, the stadium, the new one?
The new one is 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, my drive time usually is like 1 hour and 4 minutes from home to wherever we tailgate, and now I'll be like an hour 45. So
my dad was the postmaster of Arlington Heights when he died, because he was. So I grew up. In fact, I grew up playing indoor soccer right across from the racetrack. Is where the indoor soccer facility was. So I mean, I grew up right there in that area. So if I was still living up there, I'd have like a 10-minute drive to the game. It'd been great.
That is a great piece of land over there, and I used to love going. We're big into horse racing in my family. I used to love going to that race course. It's great. That's a great piece of land. That was a good buy there.
It was solid buy. And the thing is, so North Suburban Processing Center used to be across Northwest Highway, where they shut that down. So I mean, all that stuff over there they can buy up too, for additional parking, additional hotels, whatever.
Don't let the secrets out.
I mean, but there's a lot of possibilities in that part of Arlington Heights. The only thing they have to do is, because you got the railroad tracks running along Northwest Highway there, so they'll have to do something with that, bridges and whatnot. But I mean, what a beautiful piece of property they got.
It's just nuts that all the people that live in Arlington, they don't want it.
Yeah, that's great.
Hell, Cole Komet's from Arlington. He wants it.
Yeah, but they were there. They already had their meetings, and they don't want all that traffic. They don't want everything out there like that.
No, but when they start getting all this,
when the small businesses and stuff like that start getting some dough, they'll change their minds.
And if you think about it, that piece of property is right off of 53, right? So the traffic in the town itself, they're not going to feel it, because it's right off of 53, so they're not going to feel traffic in town. In the township itself, it's going to be so. I mean, think about that piece of property is on the border of Arlington Heights.
And you would think they wouldn't be worried about it because there's a racetrack and they're already having a lot of people there anyways.
Right.
Well,
that's the one interest group who just whatever their thing is. I swear it's Lori Lightfoot started that interest group to try to get people to not want the stadium there. She keeps making bad arguments for the keep there.
It's 1 day a week, man. It's 1 day a week when people aren't working.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it's not like they're going to move the practice facility from Lake Forest. I mean,
hell no.
No, they built that thing. That's why we're not in Bourbon anymore. They're at Lake Forest.
Yeah.
So what do we think about the keys of today's game or tonight's game is going to be?
Our running game.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think we got to pressure Aaron Rodgers for sure.
Yeah.
I think our defense is going to hold them.
Like I said, they have a better 1-2 punch at running back. We gotta get to Aaron Rodgers too. So
I think both teams have a lot of the same question marks coming in: offensive line and receiving core.
Yeah.
Defensively, the Packers need to rebound from probably the worst called game in their history last week, and the Bears got to maintain what they did. So it's going to be a really tight game. I think the running game is the key, though. Whose offensive line can hold for it, and whose defense buckles.
Yep.
I really think our defense needs to hit Aaron hard, like right off of the bat and get in his head, and that will change his game overall. If he takes those big hits, he doesn't like that.
Because Alexander's going to be on Mooney most of the game.
Well, like he was on Jefferson.
Yeah.
I know.
I think you know what I was thinking too, and I think Dante Pettis is a really underrated receiver. They had high hopes for him in San Francisco, and and I had mentioned some of these guys, they get injured and they just get discarded in the trash, and the guy's bounced around a little bit, but he's had some moments where he's showed like he has a lot of potential.
How many times have we seen in the league, though, like where a team drafts a receiver, he doesn't do jack with the team that's drafted, gets traded or leaves via free agency to a new team, and has a great career?
All the time from the Bears.
Yeah. So, I mean,
not usually when we draft.
Core is a redemption core.
Our guys that we let go somewhere else and become studs.
Oh, here we go with Blind Nichols.
Our wide receiving core is a redemption core. They're all a bunch of guys who we know have the talent. It's can they actually perform the talent that people had hopes for them when they were drafted. So that's how I look at our receiving core as a redemption core.
Right. I hope they blitz Brisker too, because I like the way he gets in the backfield. Even though he's from Penn State, but I'll let that go.
He was a good pick.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but getting pressure on Aaron is going to be big because we know what happens if you don't.
Somebody's going to be open.
And Randall Cobb is sitting there with no one around him for 30 yards.
Yep.
Eddie Jackson's gonna have to have a better game than he did last week. That's what I believe.
He had a pretty good game last week, though, Jay. I thought he had a pretty good game.
Yeah, and that's interception.
At least the field's going to be dry today.
Yeah.
I just hope Herbert has a big game.
Herbert's going to have about a 60-yard run break off.
Yeah.
I think part of why they did so good was that wet field. Those guys were having a blast. I mean, they were having fun.
Yeah. That was some backyard football right there.
They wouldn't have been having so much fun if it was cold out and raining like
that.
That's
true. It was still warm.
That's the thing, though, about this Bears team this year is their moxie's a lot different under Eberflus than it was under Nagy. It's like their ethic is just, you could see it just in their faces. They're a completely different feel to this team than it was under Nagy. So the coaching of this team, has such a huge impact on performance. I mean, you could really see the difference last week.
I just hope Getsky doesn't call like a 3rd and 10 draw play. That's what I'm got to keep that better play calling too.
I mean, because last year, how many times did we hear coaching's not having to wrap these guys up? They're preaching pushing out of bounds and that. And this year, it's like, no, beat down the guy and punch the ball and back. It's like I felt the biggest difference in last week was coaching.
Definitely.
So I guess
tonight,
predictions there, Dan. I'm going last. Fuck yous. Last.
Good. I don't want to hear your damn prediction.
I want to get another pitcher, signed autograph pitcher this year.
Mine will probably upset you too.
Don't make me bust a whacker out on you guys, baby.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Hey, Bill, come. I'll drive 16 hours. You can beat me with that thing all you want, buddy.
Where'd Jason go? I left right before predictions.
Yeah, meet me at the Giants or Jets game. Come on.
Well, I guess I'll start with the predictions. So I see this game as being two teams that really, if you listen to national media, you think they're yards and miles apart, but I think they're very close in terms of they're very similar teams. They both are good defensively. They both have O-line receiving core issues to speak of. I think whereas the Bears might be better off, the receiving core, the Packers have, like Woody said, have a better 1-2 punch. So I see this as being one of those, it's going to be a close game. I can see it being, I don't know, 21-17, somewhere around there. And I'm going to go with the Bears on this game. Momentum maybe a little, but I think part of it is the Bears, after beating San Francisco, them being told they're 9-point underdogs, after Green Bay got thrashed by the Vikings, and now they're told they're the favorites just because, on the past, I think is a little disrespectful, and they're going to feel that way. So even though the Packers are looking for a rebound, the Bears are probably feeling a little disrespected after they beat San Francisco and get zero respect for it. I see the Bears winning this game by, a slim margin, but it's going to be a great Sunday night football game.
Hey, Ken, they're now a 10-point underdog.
Just no respect, man. Like the national media, the only thing they said, well, Trey Lance was bad. No, the Bears defense was good.
Well, it says we got to find out if somebody can find out who's reffing today, because if that's Aaron Rodgers, we're fucked.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with 21-17 Bears.
If you see Mike's comment, he went 27-24 Bears.
Yeah.
Mike,
There you go, Mike.
Mike, I hope you survive up there, bud.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I want to know what Bill Packer fans' prediction is, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be 40-6.
All right, fellas. Well, excuse me. I'm gonna go with 27-20 the Bears. I don't think it's gonna be a low scoring game. But I do hope that the Bears defense can at least be consistent and at least hold Aaron Rodgers, to some type of, not so good game. But that's gonna be my score, 27-20 the Bears.
Well, Billy's getting a big wood over there. I know that. With these two, yeah, there it is. Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Billy.
All right. Just because it's Bears Packers, and like I said, anything's possible. They all ball out. It don't matter whose team's better and who sucks. Yeah. I'm gonna go 26-19 Bears.
I'm last, so whoever's next? Sam.
Oh,
Start it
you're
up,
gonna
Samantha.
hate me.
Start it up.
I don't want to be right, but I think it's going to be 28-20 Packers. I don't want to be right.
You're not allowed in my van no more.
I was going to say, Billy, you got to restrict that van access.
No more van access for you.
No VIP.
Whatever.
Go ahead, Claude.
Yep. God, it's hard. I feel terrible after picking them to lose the first week, and then they proved me wrong. But I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this one. I'd say I'm gonna go 24-13 Packers.
So you're saying they're going to cover?
I guess if that's
I
what
agree.
you want.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, Dan, you're going to have to be the tiebreaker because we already know what Woody's going to be picking.
I think the Packers. Unfortunately, I think the Packers are going to win this game.
All right, shut your thing off, Dan.
You're done, Dan. See ya.
Maybe like 24-14 or something like that.
Or something
Oh,
like
so you
that.
think they're going to cover too?
Yeah, I think they're going to cover too. Yeah, that's just me. Like I said, I admit that I was wrong last week. I didn't have a good feeling, of course, but this week I know the Packers are pissed. But the only thing we have going for us is that we can beat the 49ers and they can't. But I think they're going to bounce back, and I say 28-17 Green Bay.
Hey,
I
Billy,
got
just
bigger
bring that van
problems
down
than
here
the
to
Bears and
Florida.
Packers here.
Hey,
Look at
Billy,
this.
just get in the van. Come on. Hey, us down the south, me and CJ, we got you. So just bring the van down here. Forget the rest of them.
Forget all them other peoples.
I
Yeah.
still
Right.
love you. Hopefully,
Billy, I
I'm
love you
wrong.
too, Billy. Billy, I
It's all
love
good. We
you.
love y'all, man. But I just think y'all just gonna be wrong. I mean, that's what I believe. I just think.
I mean, this is just such, it's like I said in the preseason, the Bears defense is so underrated by the media. I mean, they balled out last week. I mean, Trey Lance is not a bad quarterback. He had a bad game because of the Bears defense. And when I look at Green Bay, for all their smack talk, they got the same wide receiver. They're probably worse off in the receiving core. They have more offensive line. Their offensive line is like ours.
Yeah,
when
half
you
their
think about
offensive
it.
line is questionable for today.
So I mean,
Their best guys are ailing.
I mean, look, and Zach Tom, who's a rookie who came in last week, played really good for them when he came in on the line. But I mean, they have the same issues we do. This is gonna be even the Packer fan that's been, he's like, hey, one possession game. I think he's right. I don't think if we win or lose, there's no covering the spread. It's not a 10-point game. I think this game is, a one possession game because both teams are. When you look at how they played last week, if you look at the paper, if you look at everything, in reality, they're pretty damn close. Like Minnesota right now is probably the best team in the division. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I picked them to win it.
Me too.
Well, part of what went into me making my decision is that I think that the Bears are going to want to put points on the board and they're going to go for field goals and not trust themselves to score a touchdown. And that's going to be a difference maker. We'll see, but that's what I think, that they're just going to want to get the points.
So
we
that's
what we got to do. We got to score when we're within the red zone, and no 3 and outs.
So
Well, we
here's
can
a
have a
question.
few, but not a ton of 3 and outs.
Here's a question: how many turnovers per team in the game today?
I'm gonna give the Bears 2. I'm gonna give them 2.
Probably 2 for the Bears.
I'm gonna give Green Bay 1. I'm gonna just give them 1.
I'd say if they do have turnover to Packers, it's going to be a fumble. And
Yeah.
Rodgers ain't throwing an interception.
He threw one last week.
Yeah, but that's rare.
It slipped.
Yep.
That's what he said. It slipped. Yeah, it slipped. All right. You fuck.
It's gonna slip into one of our defenders' arms.
Yep. It'd be nice, but it is rare.
It's gonna happen.
But like I said, Jalen Johnson's got to do what he did last week, man. Punch it. If you can't get to it, stick your hand out and punch it.
Or jump a route. With their receiving issues, I think Aaron might get a couple. I agree. Aaron Rodgers' interceptions are almost like two words that don't go together. But I think this year he might have a few more because of that receiving core.
Yep. I already see it. Smith is going to jump the route. He's going to be coming across, and he's going to jump it, pick it, take
but
it.
He's not the type. He's not the type to really force it in there just to get it in there. He'll fucking take off.
No, I think some of his interceptions are going to be like some of the Cutler interceptions we saw back in the day. The receiver was supposed to go right, but went left.
A misran route.
Yeah, he's like missed route or tips or like his receiver
Overthrows.
bounce off the chest. I think his interceptions are going to be more of that variety, not him forcing the ball variety, unless he's frustrated, which I could see that happening more this season with him. But I think his interceptions are going to come off of bad receiving play. Misrun routes, mishandled balls. I could see him throwing an interception today because of that.
What do you guys feel about Robinson's debut last week?
He did good. He's got to do the same thing this week.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit tougher, but he's going to have to get in there again.
I got more problems in my house than Bears Packers. Look at this.
Oh,
what?
Kids are kidding.
That's my kid. But look what I did. Look at what I threw in there right in the middle.
There you go.
Hey, does your kid dance like Patrick Mahomes' brother on TikTok?
Oh no,
Lord!
Oh my God!
You got to get that kid to some games, Jason.
What's that?
You got to get that kid to some games.
Well, this is what happens when you raise a child in Iowa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to take him to some Bears games.
Got to get him out of those cornfields, Jason. Go 3 game.
Hey, isn't that the interesting thing about our little panel? Out of all of us, only one guy is in Chicago.
I'm not far at all, though. An hour.
Hey, that's
nothing.
Indiana. That's another state, damn it.
Yeah, but I can get there faster than half of you can get across town.
Are you, Sam? Are you licensed in Chicago to sell houses?
No, Indiana.
Okay,
Michigan.
then you're done. You're done.
Oh, shut up. I could get my license. It's pretty easy. I just don't want to drive there all the time.
I'm on Michigan Avenue every day.
But yo, she was in your van last week, though, Billy.
Yeah,
That
she
cute.
was.
I took a snapshot of that. That was cute. I like that.
Yeah, this will be. You know, sometimes I hate the way the NFL does their scheduling, but I'm actually happy that they got a week 2 Sunday night football versus it being a flex game later in the year. So this is a good way, and you know what a great time of year to have this game. You know, in Green Bay. You know, I mean that's where Mike is today.
I was gonna go, but I backed out.
I mean, it's going to be a fun game today. What a good way to start the season.
Well, let's do this. Since we have some time, let's do the other division games. So the predictions. So what about the Lions and Commandos?
Commanders are going to win that game easily.
Yeah.
The Lions are favored by 1 only.
That's not happening.
Where's that game at, Woody?
It's in Detroit.
So I'll tell you what, the Commanders, their defense is still really tough. I'll take the Commanders in that game too. I'll join Claude. I'll take the Commanders.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift, he had a hell of a game last week, and he's questionable for today. So I picked the Commanders too.
Scary Terry, baby.
Yep.
Wentz played real good last week too.
Yeah.
And they got Curtis Samuels looking like he's finally back, and then they got that Jahan Dotson kid.
Terry McLaughlin too. He's good. He's a good wide receiver.
Scary Terry's good.
Yeah. So Sam, who do you think?
Commanders.
Billy?
Commanders.
DJ?
Commanders.
Okay, we all pick the Commanders win.
Yep.
So we ought to go Commando tonight, like I am right now. All right. So, now you guys know I live in Pennsylvania, right? Of course.
Oh, I thought you were in Chicago.
Yeah, I wish. Monday night, Minnesota against the Eagles.
Ooh,
in Philly, Eagles are favored by 2.5. Dano, who do you got, Dano?
Woody. We know who you're picking.
Absolutely. Who do you got, Dan?
Probably. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
You're a smart guy, Dan. I always knew you were a smart guy. Really did. What do you think, Ken?
If they can contain Jalen Hurts, I'll go with the Vikings.
CJ?
I'm going to say Minnesota, man. They were impressive last week, and I think they're just going to keep going.
Billy? Don't say it.
I think Jalen Hurts is going to go off on him because Minnesota's head is a little too big right now. They got to bring him back down to reality.
This is bigger than your stick.
L-E-S.
What do you have crutches
bigger than your
for?
stick, buddy.
Hey, Billy's going fly, Eagle, fly, baby.
Yeah, fucking fuck you out there, I say. That's why I'll scream it right outside. I don't give a shit.
Cry, Eagles, cry.
Yeah. What do you think, Samantha? I know you're smart.
I think the Vikings will win, but I don't want them to.
She's beautiful and smart. I just got to agree with her. Jason.
I will say the Vikings, but I think that one is a 50-50 game for me.
That hurt, but you said Vikings, though.
Yeah.
I even though it's in Philly and there's high hopes on the Eagles around here because everybody sucks, I think the Vikings are going to win 46-3.
I'm glad I'll be the only winner on that one.
That's not the score that I imagined, but okay.
No, I just fucking hate the Eagles, dude. I hate the Eagles, man. Oh, god damn. But anyway, so that's all the games. Obviously, we're playing Green Bay, so
It's gonna be our division is gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how the playoff picture looks in a couple weeks with this division, because I feel so sad. The Lions are so close yet again. I'm wondering, do the Lions get more than 5 wins this year?
I picked them to go have 7. That's what I did. Yep.
God, they just seem like they get so close, but they always find a way to choke.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Bear down, everybody.
Bear down,
I'll
Billy.
see you guys next week, brother.
Billy,
All right.
beat
See
them
you
with
later,
that
Tim.
stick.
Be
Beat
good.
them with that stick, buddy.
Definitely. Hey, I'm going driving around in my van with my Packer Whacker. It's gonna be fun. Go Bears.
Bye.
Go Bears.
All right, Billy.
Oh my God, Packer Whacker.
Well, I'm gonna get going too, guys. I hope everybody has a good Sunday. Hopefully it goes our way.
And go Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Hey, Tech won yesterday. Virginia Tech, baby.
Nice. I got to make my eggs and go to the gym. I
gotta go
get
to the
my
gym
kid
too.
rolling. So
I got a motorcycle meeting today, so
Okay, bye everybody.
Everybody,
everyone, Sam.
I'll see you later. Have a good day.
Have a
Dano,
good day.
hopefully we square away on Wednesday. Hopefully. So.
Hey, Woody,
Yo.
just for you, Mia Sam Mia, buddy.
Oh my goodness gracious! Really, dude? This is not a.
Hey,
Hey, I watched it when I was in St. Lucia. I watched a lot of cricket.